My name is Evelyn and I live in Dagenham. I suffer from sickle cell. I think I was about 5 when my parents were told I had sickle cell, because apparently I used to get very sick, and a friend actually asked them to go check if I have it, because they had no idea if they were carriers or not. So it was through me that they got to know they were even carriers. And at my younger ages, I used to be almost always sick, let's say every week, every other week. Now it's a bit better, but I used to get very, very sick, yeah. I became fully aware of my crisis when I was about 8 years, because I remember going into crisis and my dad taking me into hospital. And the doctor, I think they ran a few tests, and the doctor told him he's very sorry, there's not much he could do about it, so my dad should just take me home. Basically, he's just going to die. So my dad took me to a different hospital, and they took care of me, and later he came back to the other hospital to tell the doctor I was well. And that was when I remember very well I was sick and I was taken to hospital. But after then, I'd been in crisis almost always. But then I knew about it now, and I knew how to take care of myself. When the doctor told my dad to take me away, it was my dad that told me. I remember being taken into the hospital years ago. But the interesting thing is my dad only told me this about 2 years ago, because the doctor died, and he was telling me about the doctor who had died, and this is what he told him when I wasn't sick, like I was sick then. But I remember not feeling very well, and my dad taking me there and then leaving there and going to another hospital. Yeah, and this was back in Ghana. It affects my daily life in different ways. With socializing, it depends on the weather if I can go out or not. I just try to keep myself very warm. I don't do like strenuous exercises. I try to drink lots of fluid. And I carry my painkillers wherever I go, because I never know when I'm going to get into crisis. So initially, whenever I was in crisis, I just wish I wasn't dead, initially. But now, when I'm in crisis, I just pray I get well soon and try not to concentrate on the crisis. I'm an SC sufferer, and due to the crisis, I've lost the vision in my right eye. And the doctors told me, initially I had to go into hospital like every other week to check on the eye. But the doctors had to take me off, because they said there wasn't much they could do about it. So if I see any sickling in the other eye, I just have to come into hospital. So I used to sit and worry a lot about when I was going to lose the other one. So up until last week, I was even seeing a psychiatrist, a psychologist, to really keep my mind at ease, because I used to think a lot about it. But what about if I lose my other eye? What's going to happen to me? But then I'm thinking, what about if it doesn't happen? So I'm thinking more positive than negative, that nothing happens. So I'm living my life as it is now, anything. My ambition, I would like to get into events. But my ambition too is, if I would love it, I would like to go back home to educate people about sickle cell, because most people are very ignorant about it. Yeah, and back home, it's sort of a stigma. People think I don't know how to put it, but here everyone knows it's related to the blood. But back home, it's like, oh, you're from this family and there's a curse, but it's not like that at all. So people need to know that it's something to do with your blood and nothing about a curse or anything like that.